So Janet, recently you wrote an article about happiness during challenging times. Would you like to reference a few of what the main points of that article actually referenced and how we can start to utilize that for ourselves?
Sure, and that sounds great. Because here we are in a very uncertain time for most of us. We're facing a pandemic that has people challenged and maybe feeling stressed and anxious and fearful. And what I wanted to do is help people, even if they could just grab moments of happiness in a time like this, because it's very interesting, there are these substances called neuropeptides that are released with every emotion we feel. The interesting part about the neuropeptides are when you're in a negative emotion such as sadness, fear, anger, stress, the body starts to receive those in a way that makes inflammation and causes dis-ease. And if we're in a state of happiness, joy, excitement, passion, the neuropeptides then help and nourish the cells and create a substance that will help us overall in feeling better. So if we're thinking about it in that way, maybe these ideas that I can give you about how to increase happiness will stay in your mind right now as we're facing the possibility of dis-ease or the loss of people that we love. What I want to say is that it's our relationships that create the real substance of happiness. If our relationships are going well, if we have connection to others, we will feel a state of peace and contentment and really excitement about life. If our relationships are not going well, or we're surrounded by unhealthy people, or any kind of toxic, behaviors are going on, then our energy goes down and these negative emotions come up. They have found that when we are spending money on happiness, spending money on things such as fun adventures and things that increase adventure in your life, that's important in your life. Spending money on self-improvement, whether it's education, health, anything that will create a better version of yourself, that's really important. But interestingly enough, spending money on others brings more happiness than spending money on ourselves. So think about it. Anytime you've bought a new bed, a new house, a new car, there's an excitement, but then it stops. When you've helped somebody, you will remember that feeling, and they will for a long time. So that goes on much farther and longer and deeper than the material things that we can buy. And so what you want to think about is, do I want to spend money on others? Do I want to spend money on fun adventure and experiences that will help me and help others? Do I want to learn more and so that I can help others in a better way? Do I want to invest in myself to be the best version of myself, so that actually we're then having a domino effect on what the happiness factor, I guess I'd call it. The other thing is, our time is very valuable. And so when they've done these amazing studies that watching TV increases depression, increases sadness, takes away motivation. And yet when we're kind of sat at home without a lot of things going on, people are watching so much more TV. And I haven't had a TV in years, and I'm really happy not to have a TV because I want to get outside. When you're out in nature, when you're spending time with people you love, when you're with your pets, when you're looking at beautiful scenery, when you're looking at art, when you're playing a musical instrument or dancing, singing, any of those things that you spend your time on that enhance you will have such a benefit. The other thing they found out, dementia, the rate of dementia goes down if you're learning a new musical instrument, if you're learning a new language, or if you move to a different location where you have to stimulate your brain to find new avenues of where to park your car, where to go shopping, where to get gas. And so the brain keeps getting challenged, and dementia has much less of a chance of forming. Even hiking on a hill where you have to keep your balance because your brain's having to adjust with each step, and if you start to fall, that's great, even though hopefully you don't fall, but your brain adjusts so much just with each trip that you make when you're hiking. And so when you find out those things, you go, okay, I need to be out in nature. I want to go barefoot in the sand. I want to go barefoot on the earth so that I ground into the earth and get the negative ions that come up through the body. And I want to add one more thing that I think is so interesting. Animals in nature do not get cancer or heart disease. They walk in nature without shoes, and so the negative ions come up through the pads of their feet, and it takes away inflammation. we're walking in running shoes that are covered with rubber or plastic or whatever. We can't pick up those negative ions. So one thing you can do that will really help you, get out in the soil, get out on the ground with your bare feet. Go walk on the sand if you can. And so those are the things I recommend, and I so appreciate you asking me the question.